All right, y'all. I'm gonna be talking a little bit about my experience so far. This is day 11. Yesterday was day 10, so I already kind of recorded it a while back ago on my reflection of the 10 days straight of throwing 100 discs every day. But I'm trashing that. We're gonna do it while I'm throwing today. I think I'm at 40 throws right now. So next 60, I'm gonna just be yapping, talking a little bit about my experience with this throwing process, throwing 100 throws every day for 100 days, and where I see it going. So yeah, where I see it going is, or not, let's talk about where we've come from. To start off, I was thinking that I was probably gonna be having some problems. I was gonna be having some problems with my shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, something like that, from the excessive use of those joints. And so, thanks, dog. Ooh. The excessive use of those joints, but what I found out is it's actually my knee, specifically my right knee, because you'll see as I go into this next motion, it is my right knee that takes the biggest load right there. Let me restart this. And so, I mean, like my knee, well, it does feel funky, goofy. It's by no means hurt. It's just exertion of using it a lot and very often in such an intense state. Because I'm all of like 192 pounds when fully fed, and so that's a lot of weight to be like. If you just watch this motion, I'm not only backpedaling, but as I'm going into that back pedal, all of my weight and that force is going right into my knee as I'm going down into my pivoting into the throw. And so that's just a lot of pressure that's being put on it. And so I'm making sure to be careful while I'm doing this to not overexert my right knee. I don't want to end up with some sort of lingering pain or anything like that, because that would just suck, especially going into the next season. I want to be hitting more throws like that. And so if in the process of my training I end up hurting it more than helping it, that's just counterintuitive. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, this is the longest part of the process for these throws, especially when I do it into a net like this. But yeah. But I will say the benefits that I've gained from throwing every day, they're really good. I mean, obviously, I'm more confident with my throws. So that's 50 throws. I'm more confident with my throws in game. And that comes from a lot of different places. That comes from a knowledge that I'm putting in the work for the result that I desire. And two, it's also coming from a literal physical comfortability. Because when I came from my break in the winter and I picked up a disc, held it in my hands, it did not feel like it usually does. It felt pretty unnatural, felt a little uncomfortable. Specifically my forearm felt tight. And that's not a good, like, it's literally all in the flick of the wrist whenever you're throwing a disc. Not all, but a big majority of the throw is in the flick of the wrist, specifically like with accuracy. And so if that's feeling tight and not loose and not comfortable, you can only assume that your throws are not going to be on point. And so this is helping me get the disc in my hands more often. If you've ever watched like Haikyuu or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. In Haikyuu, it's an anime. Yes, I'm an anime nerd, but in the anime, they talk about how in volleyball, when you're bumping, setting, or spiking, that's like less than a second of you touching the ball in game. And so you need to be touching the ball as much as you can outside of the game to get your reps in. You need to understand how the ball hits off your arms, off your fingers, off your hand, all of those different things. And while it isn't necessarily to the same degree with Ultimate Frisbee, it is definitely not too far off. Yeah, so it's definitely not too far off. Because in game, like, especially if you're a cutter, I mean, you're really not touching the disc all that often. I think for most cutters in most games, you have like, probably have upwards of 14 teammates. And the amount of time that you're actually touching the disc, if you're a cutter, is going to be less than like, how much would that be? I want to say less than like 20 times you're going to be touching the disc if you're like getting open consistently. And obviously that's in like these league games where drops are more often to happen. They're going to be happening more often and whatnot. So, I mean, with doing these drills, it really gets me my hands on the disc more, gives me a more comfortable feeling of the disc being in my hands, and it just feels better, you know? It's like, why I want the disc to feel as comfortable in my hand as possible, so then when I'm in the moment, and like for instance, what I'm practicing right now, say the disc gets swung to me, we're like right on the end zone, disc gets swung to me, I catch it, and I go for that split second decision throw. I see that somebody's open and I need to make that decision quick. I'm holding on to the disc for maybe a second, from the transition from the catch to the pivot to the throw. I need to make sure that, like, if the disc feels wrong, I'm not hitting that throw. So I need to get the disc in my hand as much as possible, so then when I catch it, I'm getting more used to the transition of catching, holding, pivoting, and throwing all at the same time. That's a lot of stuff to do. And you need to make sure that you're going to be comfortable with all of it when the time comes. And so getting these reps in, even if it's like, especially, especially because it's low pressure, I'm going to mess up a lot. That one hit right on, but I'm going to mess up a lot, and that's fine, because this doesn't have a lot of weight. I'm not playing at nationals. I'm not playing at regionals or even sectionals. I'm not even playing at practice. If I mess it up, nobody's gonna see. Maybe some random person who has no idea what you're doing is gonna see, but they have no idea what you're doing. And why does it matter anyway? You're out here to grind. You're out here to get better. And dude, that's all that matters. So yeah, that's it's my little ramble about throwing and whatnot. But for the future of this challenge, I see it going a lot of different ways. Yeah, I see it going a lot of different ways. I mean, I'm gonna be practicing a lot different things. Maybe more throws with people. Maybe a little more cutting as I'm doing my throwing at some point in the future. And especially when club season practices pick up, I'm not gonna have as much time. So maybe they might become a little more short. And like recently, I haven't had nearly as much time I've had a lot of work to do. I've had family coming into town because of my brother's graduation. And so there's times where it's kind of like today. I'm out here, middle of the night, tossing the discs by myself. But nobody's gonna see this. Nobody's gonna see all this work that I'm putting in. Obviously I'm posting it on YouTube, so maybe, maybe more people are gonna see it. But I would be doing this regardless. It doesn't matter. Maybe not my 100 days every day challenge type of thing, but I would still be throwing pretty consistently, even if I weren't recording this. Now I can't say that like for absolute certainty, but right now it's not like I get a lot of views, do I? I just enjoy making these videos. I enjoy throwing, and it's something of a motivator and an accountability for me. You need to find what keeps you accountable whenever you're trying to achieve something, because accountability is such a big thing whenever you are trying to achieve a goal. Even just like, if you just have somebody that you call once a week, or maybe a friend that you see like even once a month, or they just text you every now and then and they're like, hey, how are your throws going? Or hey, how is your running going? Hey, how is your eating going? And so, I mean, having that accountability is really good. It'll help you. But in the end, you have to want it. You gotta get that dog in you, you know? You gotta really want the, you need to want the results so bad that you're willing to do just about anything for it. For me, I still have my rules. My family first, and then my job, or excuse me, church, my God, church, family, job, and then ultimate frisbee. I'm working on the relationship stuff, don't you worry. But I mean, this is what I love to do. This is I am a son of God. That is who I am. But ultimate frisbee is what I do. Banking is what I do. And I can't get that mixed up. That's just a hard rule. And it's fun. I like it. I love my life. I like hanging out with my friends, going playing volleyball. But if I have the choice between volleyball and ultimate frisbee, I'm hitting that frisbees. I'm hitting them frisbees, dog. You know how it is. But for the future of this challenge, I mean, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not stopping. I'm staying strong. I mean, I'm out here at like 9:30 at night. I have an interview in like 12 hours, and I still need to prepare some stuff for it. So I might begin my priorities mixed up just a little bit. But I'm still gonna have plenty of time. I'm gonna have plenty of time to get up, get ready, get my stuff prepared. I just have to prepare like a 5 to 7 minute presentation. And I mean, it's gonna be great. Life is great. Hopefully I'll get more people coming in on these videos. Maybe I'll try and do like some collabs with people, see if people are available to throw. If you have anybody that you want me to collab with, drop it down in the comments. Give me a like if you want to see more of this type of stuff, like these reviews of how the process is going and whatnot. So other than that, I'm gonna knock out these last 20 throws. I'll get them recorded for you guys so then you can see what I'm doing. If it's the morning, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night.